Hey guys, this is Booligan with Airsoft Retreat, BooliganAirsoft.com, and Airsoft Insider Magazine. Today, we're taking a look at the ARES SA VZ.58 AEG available at Evike.com. This gun is available in two lengths, the Carbine version, as well as a much shorter CQB version that has a truncated handguard, short barrel, and is generally a lot tinier. The guns are available for about $200, this one coming in at around $205, and the shorter version being, I believe, $195. Now, the gun is full metal and has a lot of ARES' latest features that they've been putting in their more technologically advanced guns. So let's go ahead and do a quick run through of this gun, and I'll tell you some of my thoughts on it. The gun is very similar to an AK, but like the real VZ.58 is not an AK, and as such has almost no parts compatibility between the two. And the Airsoft version replicates that feature extremely well. Basically nothing from an AK will work on this gun. Even the magazines, although they look like an AK mag, are totally different. They feed from the front, they've got a totally different shape, totally different locking mechanism, just like the real gun. So don't buy this and be disappointed that your AK mags won't work. If you bought a VZ.58, the real gun, your real AK mags wouldn't work in it either. Now, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the body of this thing. Starting with the back, you have a very thin, very svelte little stock here that makes me a little bit nervous. It's an I-beam design, so I think it'll be strong. It does have a little bit of wobble there, but when you shoulder it, the thing tucks well into your shoulder. You just have that little bit of wobble. My concern is this is made out of just like aluminum. It's not steel, and the strength of that makes me a little bit nervous were I to fall on it or something like that. The stock folds to the side by pressing this button, which is a little stiff. Press it, stock folds to the side, and locks firmly in place. To unfold it, push that button again, and you're in business. The grip is very comfortable and is correct to the real CSA SA VZ.58 sporters that are available. They replicated that very well, and it is very, very comfortable. Your selector switch is located here on the side, and you have three different firing modes. Normally you'd have semi, safe, and full auto. However, this uses the latest version of the electronic fire control system gearbox from ARES, which means you can use this little programmer here. If you have the programmer, it is a separate purchase, to give you LiPo battery monitoring as well as burst mode. And for me, I have it set up to 3-shot burst and then full auto, which we'll take a look at in a little bit. Moving forward, you have a full metal receiver, polymer handguard, and whole metal front end. Now, the metal receiver is very well made. I didn't see any manufacturing defects with it really, and the molding on it is just on point. Like the real gun, you've got this large, funky reciprocating bolt up here. The real gun would reciprocate, this one does not. There's no blowback. But to pull it back, you can access the large top-down style hop-up adjuster, which is nice because you don't really see this very often on AEGs, and it's a great system. It lends itself to very good hop-up consistency, as well as eliminating some of the variables of side-to-side free play. Like the real gun, the bolt can be locked back. Pull it back, push this button here, and the bolt is now locked. However, on mine at least, you cannot release it unless you remove the magazine. Remove the magazine, pull it back, and it can be released. I don't know if that's just an issue with my gun or if that's how these all are, but it's just a little weird that you can't release it forward with the magazine in place. It's kind of backwards of what it should be. Battery storage on the Carbine model is in the handguard and is very, very small. You only have a very limited space, and my Tenergy 11.1 volt 1000 milliamp hour LiPo pack barely fits in there, like just barely. To access your battery space on this model, push this little pin out, pivot this up, and then you undo this large thumb screw or flathead screw, which then gives you access to the battery compartment inside because it slides the whole front of the gun off basically. On the short model, on the CQB model, your battery storage is underneath here, and you'll need an even smaller battery because I can guarantee this thing won't fit. You'll probably need to run a 7 volt LiPo, 7.4 volt. You have a metal front end, you have adjustable iron sights, front and rear. They're both adjustable for elevation, and the front looks like it can be drifted side to side for windage, but I haven't tested that yet. In true ARES fashion, you have the 14mm positive threaded muzzle, which is a pain in the butt if you have a whole house full of 14mm negative accessories like I do. However, it's ARES, I wouldn't expect it any other way. The included magazine is a mid-cap, and ARES has not made spare magazines very readily available yet. However, on their website they have some accessories for this gun, including an M4 style magwell adapter, which sounds like total heresy, but the real gun actually has that as an option. This is even marked for the correct caliber to use an AR mag. It says caliber 5.56 by 45. So it's a little bit anachronistic that they included the 5.56 markings but a 7.62 magazine. And I think they did that keeping in mind that people are probably going to buy this magwell adapter. The spare magazines, I've only seen them available at one other website, and they're a little bit expensive, and you have to get them from overseas right now. Now I'm hoping that other manufacturers or retailers like Evike or anyone else will start carrying the spares, or at least carry the magwell adapter. Please carry the magwell adapter. This thing with AR mags will be absolutely perfect for me. There are different hand guards available, railed ones, there are railed clamp-on rails and side mount rails. ARES really realized that they're the only ones making this thing, so they kind of took to the forefront and created all of their own accessories for it, which is fine. It's a good way to do it. If you can't rely on the aftermarket to supply your parts, just supply them yourself. Performance-wise, my gun was shooting right around 425 feet per second, which is on the high end for me. It's higher than I generally like it to shoot. However, this does feature a quick change gearbox spring, but you have to take the gearbox out of the body to quick change it, so it's not that quick, but it's quicker than it would be for having to open the whole gearbox entirely. Now, again, my gun is set up for burst mode right now, but rate of fire using my very small medium output 11.1 volt LiPo battery is as follows. As you can see, in 3-shot burst mode, it does have shot completion. You barely tap the trigger, and it will fire the 3 shots. In full auto, again, rate of fire is quite good. But again, to access the burst feature, you will have to have the programming unit, which is an add-on purchase. Something that I'm not a huge fan of ARES for basically having on-disc DLC for their guns. However, once you buy this, you can use it in any ARES gun that has the electronic fire control system, so the purchase will work itself out in time, in my opinion. Velocity-wise, again, shooting around 425 feet per second. This top-down hop-up does a great job keeping the hop-up power consistent, and I was easily putting shots out to 175, 180 feet on a torso-sized target. The thing just performs very well. So, in closing, my main thoughts on this gun are they executed it pretty well, but they kept with the real VZ.58 in making it woefully incompatible. The gearbox is not a standard gearbox. The thing's a custom design. The externals are totally custom. The handguard, the magazines, everything is totally bespoke for this gun. So if you want to accessorize it, you either have to get custom or you have to hope that somebody's going to carry these ARES aftermarket parts. Because otherwise you're kind of stuck with this gun being as it currently sits. Now, for $200, in my opinion, you're getting a lot of gun. Full metal gearbox with a programmable gearbox, full metal externals, you get 1 magazine, and the thing's really, really well built. But the problem is, the thing that keeps it from really being skirmishable right now is the unavailability of magazines. That's really the big one right now. However, again, if someone were to carry Evike, if you're listening to this, carry that magwell adapter, and we can use 5.56 Stanag style mags to our heart's content. Be sure to check out the full review that I'm working on this gun on Booligan Airsoft and Airsoft Retreat. Many thanks to Evike for sending this over, and as always, thanks for watching.